the law you just signed banning transgender female athletes from playing on women's school sports teams. Can you name one example of a transgender child trying to gain an unfair competitive advantage at a school there in West Virginia?
This is West Virginia Governor Jim Justice.
Well, Stephanie, I don't have that experience exactly to myself right now, but I will tell you this.
Not yourself, your state, sir. Can you give me one example of a transgender child trying to get an unfair advantage? Just one in your state. You signed a bill about it.
And MSNBC's Stephanie Rule.
No, I can't really tell you one, but I can tell you this, Stephanie. I'm a coach, and I coach a girls' basketball team. And I can tell you that we all know what an absolute advantage boys would have playing against girls.
But sir, you have no examples of this happening. Why would you take your time to do this?
And as always, when Republicans are pressed, when in the wrong, they fold.
Let's talk about other things that I can give you examples of in your state. According to U.S. News and World Report, West Virginia ranks 45th in education, 47th in healthcare, 48th on the economy, and 50th in infrastructure. If you cannot name one single example for me of a child doing this, why would you make this a priority? I just named 4 things that would seem to me like a much bigger priority.
Well, Stephanie, I didn't make it a priority. It wasn't my bill.
You signed it.
Because there is zero proof in the state of West Virginia to mandate an anti-trans bill. So Justice gets backed into a corner. He can hoot and holler of how it's not a priority.
Republicans in at least 25 states are moving forward with over 60 bills targeting trans youth specifically. The bills would limit access to school sports and gender-affirming health care.
There's been a big push nationally, Biden administration is squarely behind it, to allow biological males to compete in girls' sports.
But Republicans are making it a priority. Signed into law by Justice, named House Bill 3293, the measure says teams must be based on biological sex, and trans girls are barred from women's teams where competitive skill or contact is involved. In South Carolina, Representative Ashley Trantham sponsored HB 3477, which would prevent trans students from competing on all-girls sports teams in middle and high school, though, like Justice, she could not cite a single example of trans athletes competing in her state. As Brian Tyler Cohen wrote, Republicans are only capable of solving problems that don't exist. In Louisiana, Senator Beth Mizelle sponsored Senate Bill 156, which requires teams or sporting events for women at public institutions be composed only of biological females or those who presumably were listed as female on their birth certificates. In a not so shocking turn of events, when Mizelle was pressed by Senator Cleo Fields on if there were instances, examples, or problems with trans youth on sports teams, Mizelle said she was not aware of any. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee said allowing trans athletes to participate in women's sports would, quote, destroy women's sports. In the state, House Speaker Cameron Sexton conceded there may not actually be trans students now participating in middle and high school sports. LGBTQ advocates say the unprecedented push was catalyzed by backlash to Biden's election and the Supreme Court ruling that workers cannot be fired for being gay or trans. The Washington Post wrote on how Republicans shifted from being anti-gay marriage to anti-trans youth, but with the kicker being sports. They think this will hit home to parents, specifically mothers, who might cling to this propagandized fear that their daughters' days of athletics are numbered. Thus, even if there are zero examples to cite from respective states, the ACLU found record-breaking bills introduced, and we're only in April. Dr. Clifton S. Mixon, a child psychologist, said the bill solves a problem that doesn't exist and approaches a very complex issue with a mallet that's going to hurt a lot of people. The GOP, knowing their popularity is sinking and dipping after the failed coup on January the 6th by their own party, have manufactured outrage. In Georgia, when Major League Baseball moved the All-Star Game out of Atlanta because Brian Kemp signed a bill into law that disenfranchises hundreds of thousands, let's just say countless numbers of voters, mainly minority voters in the state, they blamed woke politics. The same is being done here. Attack the disenfranchised, limit their rights, even if it goes against something as simple as, well, take it away, Mike Pence.
I really believe that all lives matter.
Exactly.